So this is for all you guys out there who like to drink, and that includes myself because I like to have a drink every once in a while here as well. So first of all, I'm trying not to make this a lecture because I believe that you are a grown adult. You get to make the choices that you need to make or want to make in your life, and you get to live that life on your terms, not mine. So that's the first thing here is I apologize if this does come across as, hey, you need to do this. I'm just sharing my experience when it comes to alcohol with my own personal experiences and as well my dad's and working with many, many men over the years and the experiences that I've seen them have with alcohol. So the fundamental point here that I want to make when it comes to alcohol is that if you choose to drink, it should be disciplined. It is one of those things in life that you should have absolute discipline with. There's a number of reasons for this, is because alcohol, the sheer nature of alcohol, is to make you unrestricted. The vast majority of people who drink, and I'm not pretending to be an expert. And if you have to work with a therapist, I highly encourage you to do that. Go find an expert when it comes to addiction, if that's what you are facing. I'm just talking about how most people use alcohol, is that it's to relieve this outer shell, this pressure, all of this weight that you're carrying on your shoulders so you can feel more like yourself, like you can let everything go and just be who you want to be. That is typically why people drink. And sometimes I'm in that category too. And so the sheer nature of alcohol is to release the discipline of life, to release the accountabilities, to release the responsibilities. And that's why it's so that's why it's so easy to sometimes lose track of how much you're drinking. And that's essentially the point here, is that when you are being disciplined, you know what your limit is and you know how often you should be drinking. So how much and how often, and the impact that it's having on you and the people around you. That is ultimately it. There's nothing wrong with drinking. There's nothing wrong with social drinking. There's nothing wrong with, maybe even getting drunk every once in a while, but do it in a responsible way. But you want to make sure that it's not having a disempowering impact on you or your family members or the people that are around. That is ultimately it. If it's hindering your health, if it's hindering your relationships, if it's hindering your progress, then you definitely want to restrict that and be a lot more disciplined. One of those things that people don't always question, unless you get too much alcohol in you or you get way too out of hand or people are seeing that you're drinking way too frequently, because it's become normalized in society. It's become normalized to just have a few drinks to relax, to release the tension. But it is a substance. It is a substance that is altering your body. It is a substance that alters your mind and can actually have a detrimental impact as well. But it has been normalized. And some people think that it's normal to drink in excess. Some people think it's normal to drink often. And again, having one drink every once in a while or having one drink a day or 2 drinks a day or whatever your limit is every day, that's fine as long as you know what your limit is and you are disciplined. It's very easy, and I've experienced this myself. It's very easy to drink one day and not feel so great the next day and say, you know what, I'm not going to drink for a while. And then the weekend comes up or something comes up and you say, you know what, I just kind of feel like having a drink. Or you even get to the point, because I've been there, where I've said, I'm not going to drink for a month, right? I've made myself a commitment and promise. This was years ago. And then I would drink. I would just completely forget about the commitment. Or I would say, you know what, one drink is okay. And then I would just feel crappy after because I'm like, I have this goal to get fit or I have this goal to whatever it is. And I would just feel crappy about myself. So that's the other sign when it comes to drinking. If you are feeling crappy the next day, or even that same day that you had a drink, then that is a sign for you that maybe you should take a look at your drinking habits or your patterns. So to summarize this isn't about lecturing. This is really about having a healthy, empowering, and positive life. And I'm very passionate about this because I experienced this growing up with my dad, who struggled with alcoholism. He struggled, and eventually what ended up happening is it costed him his life because he had diabetes and his drinking accelerated the diabetes. Other than that, he was fine. He was healthy. He was out there active every day, working hard, eating healthy, but his alcohol literally led to his death. And my mission in life is to help every man I can live a happier, more successful, more fulfilling life, be a better business leader, be a better husband, be a better father. And sometimes alcohol can get in that way. It can become a crutch. It can become one of those coping mechanisms. I've experienced it. I've seen my dad experience it. I've seen many other men experience it. And the easiest way to get out of that, A, is to be disciplined. B, surround yourself with people who are also disciplined in drinking or not drinking. Or C, try to find a way or method. This is where it gets really interesting and really cool. To feel like you are able to shed those responsibilities, be yourself, not be so stressed, and feel relaxed without alcohol. Once you learn how to do that, that's when you actually step away from it. And the challenge for most people is that we haven't learned how to do that because it's easy to pick up a bottle and pour yourself a drink. That's an easy way to do that. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to even sit with your own thoughts in silence to see if you can actually relieve your own stress without any substance at all, without any distractions or entertainment. That's when you get truly powerful from within. And that's the whole concept of the complete man. If you haven't gotten your copy yet, you should absolutely get your copy. It's right here. If you go to completemanbook.com, you can get your copy on Amazon. It's also on Audible as well. But I highly encourage you to read that because one of the most popular topics that came out of this book, which I didn't even think it would be, was a chapter on addiction. And I'm not saying you're addicted, but if you feel like alcohol has a little bit more control over you than you'd like, or you just know that something isn't right, and that's the other way you can tell, is you just don't, you know that something isn't right. Something inside of you is telling you that something isn't right when you're drinking or before you're drinking or after you're drinking, that you're just not getting this great feeling. Anytime you're not getting a great feeling, it's a sign that you should change something. So what do? Nothing wrong with alcohol, as I said before, but be disciplined with it. Be disciplined in your approach and try different methods of trying to bring yourself into that state of relaxation or being able to shed those responsibilities without alcohol or perhaps less alcohol. Once you're able to do that, you're going to be able to control or be a lot more effective in your drinking habits or routines, just like I am. I went from that point of not knowing how to control it to being able to control it. And right now, and over the last number of years, I am able to be absolutely disciplined, and I just don't have those same urges or those same feelings that I used to. And those same, you can say, that same experience of drinking alcohol. It's a lot more enjoyable now that I've put these practices in place. So hopefully this helps you and you're able to get something out of this.